Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with another Kill-A-Kit video. I started a couple days ago with this Simple Stories I Am collection kit that came with 12 double-sided sheets, which included some cut-aparts and a 12 by 12 sticker sheet. It also includes this journaling bits and this chipboard stickers. So I also have already purchased this prior to and had used all but a couple what's on here plus one or two. So I have 6 pictures or sets of pictures, possibly a 7th or 8th, depending on how many papers I have left when I'm done with what I've got. And I went through what I've been organizing. I started in January and went through and I pulled the things out that I felt like this kit would complement. So they're pictures of either me, my daughter, mostly me, my sweet doggy, and me and my daughter together. And I felt like the I Am collection and what message it sends, that was the best pictures for me to use. So I wanted to see if I could get them done. I've never done a Kill-A-Kit before. I am a random scrapper. I rarely use all of one like kit or set or even designer brand. I mean, I pull from everywhere. So I love this collection. Fell in love with it when I first saw it months ago. Finally bought it at Tuesday morning. You can tell I've only done one layout and I used 2 chipboards. I used 6 of the 57 things out of here. I used 1 full sheet of paper and then I used some little bits and pieces, and I used 2 of the cut-aparts. So, and then I used whatever is missing off of this sticker sheet. I just love all these words. And then, like I said, I used a couple things off of here. So now I am going to try and figure out what else I can do to kill this kit. So I was going to show you. This is the layout I created a couple of days ago. Everything on here is from this collection except these 3 enamel dots and obviously my mixed media. Everything else came from this collection, and I really love how this turned out. I was a little skeptical at first because it was not coming together the way I wanted. There were some boo-boos. I had to fix them. Maybe you can't tell. So this was me getting my vaccination, my second one. So to go along with that, let me set this pile over here. I'm trying to keep everything in order. So to go along with that, today, shortly after that, 2 weeks after that picture was taken, this is me in my mask again. And this is my mother's front door. And I am surprising her, and I'm going to go give her, the plan is to go give her a hug because after the 2 weeks, you were safe. And I had not hugged my mom but once since March of 2020, and this was March 11th of 2021. So it had been almost a year since I had hugged her, except for one time when we put on a full body unicorn suit. Long story, crazy, but well worth it to hug my mother. So that is what I'm documenting, is this, and I felt like this was a perfect collection for that. So this is what we're going to work on. I've already kind of breezed through here and pulled some things, so hopefully it will not be as crazy as the last time, and maybe I'll make less boo-boos. Who knows? I'm real good at it. So I'm going to get started, and we'll see how this goes. All right, so I pulled out this purple on purple butterfly background paper, and I cut a 4.5 by 6.5 in this aqua with the florals on it, because that is going to match the 4x4 cut apart that I want to use as my title. And so I am matting my one picture and decide I want to put some fun foam on the back of that because it's the only picture, so I definitely want it to pop off the page. And so I put some double-sided tape down, and I determine that since my picture is facing to I want the picture to face the inside of the page, so I know anything that I tuck under there is going to be on the right side of my picture. So I want the foam over towards the left so it doesn't make it lumpy. So I am going to move this layout around 74 times, I feel like. And as I went through this before I cut and edited, I think I had these things laid out in I don't know, probably 4 different places. So it's not going to end up exactly where you see it now. Somewhere close. The gist of the page is going to stay the same. But that's how I roll. So I pulled some things out of the ephemera pack, which is what I am looking at right now, trying to decide for sure what I want to use on the page. And I will pull things as I go through, and then at least 1 or 2 of those circles does not make it to the page. So right now I'm putting some double-sided tape on the things I know I want on here and on the 4x4 cut apart. And that says I am focusing on the good, and it has a camera with some florals on it, which is, I decided on my title first and pulled the papers and ephemera and everything to go with it based off of that. Because like I said in the beginning part, this is me at my mom's door wanting to give her a hug for the first time in pretty much a year. So if you notice, the purple paper got turned, and probably from this distance, maybe you couldn't tell, but the butterflies were sideways. Nope. Not the way you want your butterflies. Oh dear. I'm glad I noticed that. I mean, it wouldn't be a huge ordeal, but I feel like butterflies don't typically lay down. So this is pretty much the general idea of what's going to happen on this page. Maybe a couple of changes. That label at the top is going to go. I'm going to bring in a little tag, not a tag, but a little file topper. But most of the things right there you see now on the page are going to get tacked down on the page, but with a couple of add-ons. Or more than a couple. Remember, I'm trying to kill this kit. I don't want to use things just to use them, but I definitely want to use the things that will work on this page and will look good. So I decided that I wanted to add a little something to the bottom of this page. So I pulled out another piece of this paper kit, and I just cut a 1 inch, I was thinking it was 1.5. It's more like a little, well, it's about 1 1/4. About 1 1/4 inch piece of this butterfly paper, because the background is not all that in your face. It's tone on tone, and I really love the concept of the butterflies because it is freeing, you know, when a caterpillar turns into a butterfly. And being able to hug my mom for the first time in so long was very freeing to me. So I wanted to ink it up because it's going to just disappear into that print paper. So I ink up this all around the outside of it with my Black Soot Distress by Ranger. And now I decided that I didn't want it to be a 12 by 12 all the way across. I wanted to have a little space on either side. So I ink up the end where I cut it. I get my text print laid out, and the text print has things on it like unstoppable, brave, fabulous, beautiful, strong, loving life. And I love text print on paper, and it really is a good background or layer. You can see why I'm using the butterflies, because I will not be using the cheetah print. I guess I could use it on my dog because cheetah print is similar colors to my little sassy lassie, but no. So I get that down, and I want the butterfly paper not to overlap this text print, but I do want it to be right up against it, which is why I inked it so it would stand out a little bit. And I love the way that it looks. So if you notice, my picture has moved its way down the page a little more. And I love the way it ended up, so I'm glad that I did that. Originally, I had it up significantly higher and was using the text print as my table for my picture. Now it is down to where the butterfly paper is almost like the table for the picture. And so that is pretty much where it's going to stay. So I'm putting some double-sided tape on the back of my journaling, and the flowers on that journaling note are the same flowers that are in the card or in the camera, and the same color pattern as the ones in the matted picture. So I'm getting this all situated. I want to make sure everything's going to fit to where those words that you see on the left will fit comfortably coming out from my picture. So I'm trying to get everything laid down so that it's all cohesive. I don't want a gap in there at all. I want it all to overlap enough to where there's no purple showing through between the journal, the title, and the picture. And I accomplished that goal. Yay! So I put these words down. The one on the top says hello, because like I said, I was going to my mother's to visit and hug her. And the one below that says embracing, which I thought was super fitting since my whole point was to go and hug my mom. I did also distress the outside of that journaling because it was going to disappear into the text print. So I wanted that to stand out. So I get that in there, and I tuck it right there just enough to where nothing is showing between the from the top to the bottom, and that one little spot at the top that is still open is going to get covered with a pretty little flower. Spoiler alert. So I tuck that little file tag in there and just write the date. I love doing that instead of using journaling space for it. So in the journal, I made a note about how after 2 weeks after my second vaccine, I went to my mom's to surprise her so I could give her a hug. Funny part is she surprised me because she wasn't home, and my mom's always home. And for some crazy reason, she was not home that night. So I did not get to give her a hug that day. It was the next day, I think I actually got to hug her, but that's okay. It was super well worth the wait. So I get my chipboard out and pulled 3 different things out of the chipboard. A butterfly and a little gold heart and a little purple floral, since the background paper is purple and there's not any purple in the floral. I really wanted to bring the purple in to the front of the page. So I have that little flower. I'm going to add another flower, then the little circular butterfly. And then I also will bring a strip of that background paper to the front here in a minute if I haven't already done it. So I am putting down these chipboards, and then I am trying to figure out what is going to happen here, because the bottom of my picture is not meeting all the way across with the butterfly paper. Okay, so this is the branding strip, and on Simple Stories, half of the branding strip is the pattern that's on the back. And so I love when it's a full branding strip. Those are my favorite. However, this worked just fine for me because I only needed a little piece. So the little purple butterfly paper that matches the background, I just cut long enough to where it could cover that gap. And I'm going to embellish a little bit on top of it so it doesn't look like I'm just using it because there's a gap there. So I put that down underneath the picture between that and the butterflies, and I tuck it underneath the little green circle that has the camera on it. And I'm going to pull one more of the chipboard off one of the banners at the bottom that says grateful, and I'm going to put that right there at the end of the banner so it looks very intentional. And I look at the page and it needs something. It is missing something. Something's going, I don't know what it is. So I pull out my Stickles. I didn't want to use any mixed media this time other than maybe the Stickles. So I'm trying to figure out, it's still missing something. I don't know what it is I could add, and then it dawns on me. I have not used any of the stickers from the sticker sheet. So it also feels like it needs a little banner or something at the top because there's a lot of empty purple space at the top. So I pull this butterfly from the cut apart. It's a 2x2 cut apart. I cut that one out because that teal is throughout, and it helps bring that in and gives that little triangle effect of the teal. And I am going to put that up at the top, leave some purple on the side, and I'm going to put a couple of the embellishment stickers up there. So I first put this little floral, so I'm bringing the purple to the front again, as well as that light blue that is in the camera and stuff. And then I want to find a place for this butterfly sticker because I don't know how often I'm going to have butterflies on these few layouts that I've got to do with this. So I wanted to use as many as I could. Now there are still 2 or 3 more butterflies on the sticker sheet. I'm not using them all because they look the same as the ones that are already on my page. And I don't want to overdo it, but I wanted to get that one on there. And then I look for some word phrases, and I pull one that says never settle, and I tuck it over on the left between the hello and embracing. And then I fiddle around a little bit with this one, and it says actually I can. And I tried to use this on my layout the other day and decided I wanted it for this page specifically because, you know, we've been told for so long that we can't, you know, we shouldn't hug our loved ones. And I felt like this was the perfect phrase for this picture because now it is safe for me to hug my mama. The best feeling ever. And so I'm still looking, trying to figure out what I want to get. And this is when I pull this little word phrase that says never settle. It's the same as the aqua color, and so that it brings that aqua over to that side of the page. So now it's cohesive throughout the page. And I found this little aqua heart, and so that also adds a little bit more of that same color. And I think I'm going to put my stickers away at this point because I'm happy with the way everything is looking. And I'm going to show you some close-ups, and that's going to be it. So I hope you all have a great night and a wonderful weekend, and I hope you get a chance to do something you love with someone you love. Have a great day, and happy scrapping.